Hello, this is Mr. Red Fox speaking, and this is a little video that I decided to make because I was thinking about 5 overrated franchises. Now, before I get into my top 5, well, not even top 5, but 5 franchises that I think are utterly and completely overrated, like not nearly as good as what people may say, I just want to say, these are my own personal opinions. You do not have to agree with me when I say this. These are just my opinions. Now, to be fair, before I say anything, I will be talking about, why I think these opinions are valid. I will give reasons as to why I have these opinions, some of which are just observational critiques based upon reality. So these aren't just going to be just subjective things like, yeah, the colors are too bright. It's going to be like, well, fundamental gameplay things that I have an issue with. So with that being said, let's get into it after the cut with my top 5, with my 5 overrated franchises. So anyway, these are my 5 overrated franchises. And the first franchise I'm going with, these aren't from any order from least to greatest, these are just from what came to my mind first. So the first franchise I'm going with is Far Cry. Now I know a lot of people like Far Cry, and I'm not going to begrudge people who like Far Cry. But for me, Far Cry is just a very tedious game, especially the modern late day Far Cry's. Like Far Cry 3, it started with premium content, but Far Cry 4, Far Cry Blood Moon, was it Blood Moon, Blood Cry, whatever, Far Cry Primal, Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn, those games are so grindy that it really just is not fun. It is so not fun just sitting there desperately trying to get the little Ubi bucks to get some of the special items. Now, there's a way around this if you're playing these games on PC, because you can just, cheat to get the premium currency. But for people who, are playing this game on consoles, you have to go through this grindy ass bullshit. And it's not fun. It's not fun. There's a similar thing with Assassin's Creed where it's like really grindy and designed to make you spend money on some fucking bullshit. And it's sad. Like, it doesn't have to be this way, and yet it is. So, for me personally, Far Cry is just a very overrated franchise. The only Far Cry games that I've had fun with, where I was like, oh, this is great, was Far Cry on the Wii, the Far Cry spinoff that was basically like a pretty interesting first-person shooter, where there's a certain point in the game where you get the ability to, you get injected with this mutant serum that turns Jake Carver into a mutant, and he gets the ability to attack people with like a predatory feral pounce thing. Actually pretty interesting. It's amazing what they were able to do on the Wii, on a technical standpoint. But aside from that, Far Cry is just not, to me, just not a very interesting game. I'm not really into it. So with that being said, let's move on to game number the second overrated game franchise, overrated video game franchise, which is After the Cut. So, as the title placard says, my next franchise, overrated franchise, I was going to say Fallout, modern, Bethesda's Fallout games, or, Elder Scrolls, but I'm just going to say the quote-unquote modern Bethesda open-world games. They're overrated. I will say this much about modern Bethesda Fallout games. They look great, but then you play them and you realize that these games are shallow as fuck. Now, I know what some people are going to say. What do you mean they're shallow? Hear me out, okay? If you're playing Fallout 4 or Skyrim, on the surface, if you scratch the surface, you're like, oh, this game. If you look at the overall surface, you're like, wow, there's a lot of game here. But then you scratch a little bit deeper and you discover there's not much depth to this. Here's what I'll say. Bethesda's open world games are the equivalent of if someone said they had a pool, right? It's like, oh, I have a pool in my backyard. Oh, that's cool. And they're like, you want to come over and swim in it? It's like, yeah, that's cool too. And you go to the pool and you realize the pool is only 2 feet deep. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do in a 2 foot deep pool? I mean, I guess maybe I can take these kid flotation boats, toy floating boats, and put in the pool, but I can't swim in the shit. And that's kind of the problem with Bethesda, is that their games are very shallow. They're very, very shallow, and it's just not an enjoyable gaming experience to me. Now, you can add depth and complexity to their games by modding it, but I mean, if you pay $60+ for a game, plus, you know, $30, $40 for all the DLC, so $100, you expect a certain level of, how can I put this? You expect a certain level of capability of the title, competency in its being made, in its composition and gameplay components, and yet, you know, you play some shit on the system and you realize, oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. And you know, Bethesda's games ultimately have a lot of range, but they're really, really shallow. And it's not fun playing a shallow-ass game like that. You know, especially for RPGs. Because the thing is, RPGs need to have depth. Like, that's half the fun of playing an RPG, is over time, the depth getting deeper, and there being more interesting things going on, all that type of stuff. And Bethesda's open-world games completely missed that mark. And I know there are games that people are like, well, what about Arcane Studios? Or, you know, Rage 2? Those are games published by Bethesda or ZeniMax Softworks, which, you know, Bethesda is a part of. I'm talking like the games that Bethesda are known for. Shallow as fuck. We'll get to the next overrated game after the cut. So, this is a big one. Here's another overrated game franchise. Call of Duty. Yes, I said it. Call of Duty is overrated. Not only is Call of Duty overrated, Call of Duty is not only is Call of Duty overrated, but like, and I'm just gonna keep it real, Call of Duty isn't even the best multiplayer first-person shooter. I would say that Halo is better than Call of Duty. Mostly because Halo is just more interesting, more fun, has more stuff going on. And, you know, to me, that's just a more interesting gameplay experience. Like, if you put GoldenEye for the N64 or Wii, Halo 3's multiplayer, or Call of Duty in front of me, I would rather play the first two than the third. Call of Duty just has an overrated gameplay experience. And I know there's some people who really like Call of Duty, and, you know, they like playing with their friends and all that type of stuff, but I'm not one of those people, so I don't care. So to me, Call of Duty's overrated. We'll get to number 2 after the cut. Alright, so here's number 4. Mario Kart. Yes, I know some people are going to get angry. What do you mean Mario Kart? I like Mario Kart. Mario Kart is awesome. Mario Kart is overrated as fuck. Alright? It's overrated as fuck. It's not a good game. Alright? It's not good. Not even close to being good. Or, I should say that it's not good. Mario Kart is basic. It's a basic bitch. Alright? It's basic as fuck. Alright? Like, I'll give an example, okay? You play something like Super Mario, you play, like, the seminal Mario Kart entry, the entry that everyone cites as the first game that really brought it to that level was Mario Kart 64. But even on the N64, there's better Mario Kart games. I mean, there's better kart racers than Mario Kart. There's Diddy Kong Racing, there's Snowboard Kids 2, there's Extreme G2, there's, what else? Beetle Adventure Racing, Cruisin' USA and Cruisin' Exotica on the N64 are better than Mario Kart. Hell, even of the 5th gen, I would say that Crash Team Racing is a better kart racer than Mario Kart. So my point is this: Mario Kart is just like the only 2 Mario Kart games that really tried to innovate the formula is Double Dash and Mario Kart 8. And Double Dash actually tried to do something different, where you had the two characters who each had their own little special hooks and stats, and you could change them up in order to change up how you were racing and what you could do. And that was interesting. But aside from that, Mario Kart is just basic as fuck. I mean, shouldn't gamers want more with their racing games than this basic ass shit? So that's my thing. Mario Kart 8 is just Mario Kart as a franchise is just too damn basic. It's basic, and it doesn't really do anything new or interesting or different with the series. So with that being said, let's move on to my final overrated gaming franchise after the cut. So here's the big one, Pokemon. Pokemon is one of the most overrated, lazy-ass, stale franchises that I've ever seen. Like, there's been no real evolution with the franchise. It's the same shit over and over and over again. Now, and I know people are going to say, well, the spin-offs, yeah, you're right. The spin-offs do exist, and the spin-offs do a lot to add some interesting things. But, I mean, the base game. Like, the base game is just the same thing regurgitated over and over and over again. Like, Pokemon, if I had to equate it to a product, Pokemon is the equivalent to a McDonald's cheeseburger. You know what you're going to get every time, all the time, and they never really change what the ingredients are. You know? And that may be a good or bad thing. I don't know. But with that being said, let's go on to why I feel that the franchise is overrated as fuck. Beyond that, I mean, it's just, you look at other monster games and they're doing so much more with their premise. Like, you look at Dragon Quest monsters. Your monsters can equip weapons and they have a cap to where they can grow. So then you're like, okay, I have to breed this monster with another monster in order to breed a more powerful monster so that it has a higher level cap. So there's more shit going on. You can fight alongside your monster with special, like in some of the games. Like, there's just so much more going on versus what you have going on in fucking Pokemon. But the straw that broke the camel's back for me, for like where I was like, okay, I can't deal with this anymore, is in Mass Effect, or not, in Pokemon Alpha, Sapphire, and Omega Ruby. How the fuck are you gonna make ostensibly a remake of a game that has less content than the game that it's a remake of? That's like a director's cut of a film that has less content than the theatrical cut. That makes no goddamn sense. And that is my issue with Pokemon. Is the Pokemon company really doesn't do anything new or interesting with their franchise. Just the same shit over and over again. And it's boring. It's boring and lazy. And frankly speaking, I just I can't continue to support a series that just doesn't do anything interesting or new with their series. Just the same shit over and over again. Okay, choose your starter. Okay, you're gonna fight your way through 8 gyms. Oh, it's the Elite Four. Now, I know some people say, well, Sun and Moon tried to do something different. You're right, but Sun and Moon sucked. Like, do something different, but be cool with it. If you're going to do something different and it's trash, then it doesn't really matter. But anyway, that's my opinion. I'll give you my conclusion after the cut. So here we go. Conclusion and upcoming events. So my conclusion is this. These are just 5 franchises that I feel are just kind of overrated. I'm not saying that they're the worst franchises of all time. I'm just saying that they could be a lot better. And that ultimately, I wish that they were a lot better. I wish that they took chances. Now, I'm not saying that, that companies should toggle with their mainline formula so much that each game feels like different every time. Like Final Fantasy. After Hironobu Sakaguchi left, Final Fantasy turned into this, what Square Enix likes to call an experimental, we do something new with every iteration, which is bullshit. What's really going on is that basically they don't have any fucking idea what they're doing. But that's my own personal opinion. I could be wrong. But to me, in my own personal opinion, I think that these 5 franchises, Far Cry, the Bethesda open world, the modern Bethesda open world games, Call of Duty, Mario Kart, and Pokemon are just overrated and getting kind of stale. They need to do something to really shake things up and make them interesting. But whatever you want to do, it doesn't bother me. Do what you want to do. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to suck it to. But with that being said, those are my opinions. You can agree or disagree. Tell me, give me your thoughts. Tell me, are there some games that you're like, this is overrated? This is kind of stale. I wish it were better. Tell me, give me the reasons why. Maybe we can have a dialogue in the chat section. So, with that being said, let's get to upcoming events. Upcoming events, we have the podcast this Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. To 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday and Saturday. This Wednesday, we're going to be doing a special interest episode where we will be talking about fixing broken games. So we're going to pick, each of us will pick 2 or 3 games, and then how we would fix those games, make them interesting. These are games that people can generally say, that game's kind of broken. We can go with that. These are video games, by the way. So that being said, you can join the podcast every Wednesday and Saturday, 7:30 p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. This Friday, I will be uploading my re-review of Fallout New Vegas. Does it stand the test of time? Is it as good as I remember. So we'll get to that. That'll be this Friday at 10 a.m., maybe 11. I have to check my YouTube menu, but 10 or 11 Friday a.m. So that being said, that's the end of this video. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Give your opinion. Agree, disagree. Look forward to those podcasts, and that's it.
Construction complete. Identification confirmed.
Well, what about Shepard? Earthborn, but no record of his family.
Doesn't have one. He was raised on the streets, learned to look out for himself.
He proved himself during the Blitz. Held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
He's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question his courage.
Humanity needs a hero, and Shepard's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
Arcturus Prime relays in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander.
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. Board is green. Approach run has begun.